Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will discuss X-linked dominant trait. So what is X-linked dominant trait? These are traits which are present on X chromosome, and these traits shows dominant inheritance, means they show that trait when they are heterozygous. So here inheritance is dominant. So what are the characters of X-linked dominant trait? So first character is it appear in both male and female. It will appear in both male and female. You can say that it appears in both sexes, but it appears more in female. Here you can see that this is appearing more in female in comparison to male. So why it appear more in female? Because female have two X chromosome. Suppose this is a female and this is male. So here female have two X chromosome and both these have a female offspring. So here this female is taking one X from mother and one X from father. So if this X, any of that X, suppose this is mutated, then there is a chance that this female will be affected. Suppose it is not affected, this is affected. You can say father is affected, then there is also a chance it will be affected. So it can inherit that trait from mother and from father, both. But in case of male, male only can inherit X chromosome from mother. So that's why it can inherit X chromosome from both parents. That means there are more chance of getting that trait in female in comparison to male. But it occurs in both sexes, but more frequent in female in comparison to male, because female can inherit X chromosome from mother and from father also, but male only can inherit X chromosome from mother. Second is, person with X-linked dominant trait must have affected parents. So here you can see that these affected offspring have affected parents. These affected parents also have affected, these affected offspring have affected parents, and these affected offspring have affected parents. Here in that case you can see that both the parents are unaffected, so the offspring are also unaffected, means they do not skip generation. They always are inherited from affected parents. No two parents which are unaffected can give the trait to their offspring. So they do not skip generation. Third one is affected man. If a male is affected, then it can pass trait to only daughter. Suppose here this man is affected. So here I am crossing that XX, this X A, this X to Y, XY, this X to this X, XA, and this X to Y, X and Y. So here you can see that this is a father and this is mother. This father transmitted that trait only to daughter, not to son, because a male have X and Y chromosome. So it gives its X chromosome to daughter only. To the son, male gives only Y chromosome. So affected man will always pass that trait to the daughter. It cannot transmit that trait to son. The fourth one is affected woman can pass trait to half of their son and half of their daughter if it is heterozygous. Here Suppose this is mother and this mother is affected. This is father. So here by crossing we will see that X, A, X, X, A, Y, X and X, X and Y. So here we can see that out of 4, 2 are son and 2 daughters. Out of 2 son, 1 is affected. So you can say that affected woman, if it is heterozygous, pass that trait half of their son and can pass their trait to half of their daughter. Out of 2, 1 is affected. Out of 2, 1 is here affected. So next is male inherit X-linked dominant trait only from mother. Male, or you can say son, always inherit that trait from mother, because we know that male is X and Y. So male get this X always from mother and this Y always from father. So male will get that trait only from mother. If mother is affected, then son can be affected. If father is affected, then son cannot be affected. Here in that case, you can see that here father is affected. So all the daughters are affected, but the son is unaffected. But when mother is affected, here mother is affected, you can see that. So if mother is affected, then son will also be affected. So son can get that trait only from mother. Next is female inherit X-linked dominant trait from any of parent. Female can inherit that trait from any of parent. Why? Because female have X and X, and this X, 1X female will get from mother and another will get from father. So if it is taking this 1X from mother and 1X from father, either of that is if affected, then it will be affected. So it can inherit from any of parent. And the last one is unaffected parents will always have unaffected offsprings. So this is X-linked dominant trait. It appears in both sexes, but more in female. Why in female? Because female have XX chromosome. It gets 1X from mother, another from father. So if either of them is affected, so there is a chance that it will be affected. Person with X-linked dominant trait must have affected parents. So here parent must be affected. It do not skip generation. Affected men always pass their trait to daughter, not to son. Affected women, if heterozygous, pass the trait half of their son and half of their daughter. Male always inherit that trait from mother, and female can inherit from any of the parent. Unaffected parent always have unaffected offspring. So this is X-linked dominant trait.